So it's a good thing done for everybody, really, but just a mark of how generous and selfless Ryan Searle can be.
Yeah, one of the sport's good guys, that's for sure. And the only man who's not going to be liking him at the moment is Mario Vandenbogaerde, who, if he is to get through to round 3, he's already in unparalleled territory because he won a game on the Euro Tour yesterday. But in order to progress, he's going to have to break Ryan Searle's throw, something he's not done in the entire tournament so far. And Searle's going to have 6 from 170.
I have a feeling that if he got the second 60, he wasn't going to go for the ball. He would have laid up for tops. It's just what he does all of the time. In fact, the next game that we have, which is Rob Cross, the 4th seed, against Martijn Dragt of the Netherlands, the winner of that game will play the winner of this game. It's 2 dots, a double 12. And things are starting to click on the outer ring for Ryan Searle. What somebody else uses because you think it's pretty or that it might work, find what does work. And that's something that Vandenbogaerde has been doing over the last couple of months, trying to find a new set that works a little bit better. A beautiful switch there from Ryan. Now on 271, he should really go to 19s. But Mario's not missing all of a sudden. Not missing at all. Has he got enough room left in the 60 for a 6th? You bet he has. And there was a sign in that audience about a minute ago saying, we want a 9-darter. We do want one.
Well, KIEL, you might be getting one.
Mario require 100.
Come on, Mario. Ooh. Well, what a way to register the first leg that would have been.
I don't know if you heard that groan, but has somebody got a foghorn in that audience? Honestly, if we're going to get brass instruments into this audience, it's going to start sounding like a cricket match. I'm all for it, by the way. Just not when the players are throwing. Tremendous switching from Searle. And again, he puts pressure on Mario Vandenbogaerde's position. Last time he was on 80 and couldn't take it. And why has he gone 18s?
And why has he done that?
38. Ryan requires
lack of focus from Mario Vandenbogaerde, and Ryan Searle, double 6, easy as you like.
Dimitri Vandenbergh against Richie Edhouse. And Joe Cullen against Aaron Monk. That is really interesting in game number 5.
That's the one that jumped off the page to me.
There's the foghorn again. Who's got that? It may even be a vuvuzela. Well, he's got 3 180s, Mario, and a 4-leg deficit. 180s for sure. You know the rest.
98.
Doubles for dough if you don't.
yeah, just clear that one up. You haven't been around this sport for about 25 years like some of us. But that's beautiful from Ryan, especially when Mario's not in that finishing zone on 168. This should surely be time to put the guillotine down on Mario's best ever European Tour experience.
Ryan require 40.
So Searle and tops. And it is a comfortable opening win for Ryan Searle. 6 legs to 1 against Mario Vandenbogaerde.
Just a remarkable human being. And he is an inspiration to everybody.
Well, it's an example of if you've got a technique that is so solid, so reliable, special things can happen. Special visit from Martijn Dragt to put some pressure on the Rob Cross throw. Having missed a couple of darts to break in the previous leg, Cross needs a treble, can't find it, and so Martijn Dragt's got 6 darts from 165 for a 3-1 lead.
Maybe he should have gone to the bullseye in 25 of the last dart to leave a finish.
Well, he tends to do that sort of thing. He's quite willing to use the bullseye and use the board quite creatively to make sure that he does leave finishes that he wants, or in this case, finishes at all.
51. Martijn requires 70.
Well, that's a new one. Double 8. And that is wonderful. 2 180s each. And it's 2 breaks of throw that Cross needs. But there is a third from Dragt. Wow, he is brimming with confidence and swagger on that stage right now. He thinks he's on the cusp of getting the victory.
100.
Lovely action he has. It's a beautifully neutral
87.
position that he has when he stops, resets and throws. It's a nice rhythm. It's not too quick. Very appealing on the eye. And not too violent with the follow through as well. Technically, there's a lot to admire.
105.
Yeah, again, Rob Cross, nice use of the board there to leave a finish that doesn't require the bullseye. It may not matter. Oh, it looked so good for another.
95.
And it would have given him a match start at double 16. But Rob Cross, he's taken out a finish of 80. Nobody's had a ton plus checkout in this match. He might get this one. He needs it. And double 18 does the job for Rob Cross, as it so often does. It's the best leg of the match. A 12-darter. Better. Perfect. A third maximum for the two-time European champion.
He wouldn't mind another one. And Dragt is not going to leave a finish. He is pretty much a dart ahead. But some people would rather have the 220. He's not going to leave a two-darter. In fact, it could well be advantage Dragt now. Depends on what he does, though. Cross may well need to do what Lucas Veenstra did yesterday in hitting a 160 checkout to win the match.
Well, Lucas Veenstra did it under very little pressure. He coasted to victory. This is pressure. And he cannot find the second treble. And Martijn Dragt, match darts. He never won a game on the European Tour until this weekend. He might be about to go to the final day and take out the number 4 seed. The 34-year-old from the Netherlands for a massive moment in his darting career. He waits and waits and waits. Is this a good plan? Is he composing himself? Ice cold Martijn Dragt beats Rob Cross. It looked like voltage was storming back into this one, but Dragt has shut the door and books a place in the last 16 to face Ryan Searle. To be fair, he did this. He started this game brilliantly. He's going through this sort of dull patch and been gifted a leg, but then he came good again against Dennis Nielsen. If that pattern continues, he can get into this game. But Dave Chisnall with a 177 gets to a finish first.
Well, when the second dart went in, there was a little bit of a wobble. It was hanging there, so Chisnall did just step back and decide that treble 19 was the best port of call. He might be proven right as well.
177. Then a 164 would have been something special. Louis will start on the ball. Looks handy if he can find the treble, which he can. How handy is it? Dear, he's not in the right side of it.
103.
Well, the only consolation is that it's a decent leave to be left on double 16. Chisnall having to shuffle across, and he breaks back, so...
And that's going to put so much pressure on your opponent. And again, because it's Chisnall, because you know that he can sustain this for leg after leg, hour after hour, day after day, month after month. Your opponent knows that that can happen, and they're expecting it. And so there's even more pressure when you toe the oche each time, because it has to be good just to live with him.
That heavy artillery means that there is margin for error on the doubles. Like the little error there. One at double 12, one at double 6. But Louis Williams, nothing he can do about it. Even the best players on planet Earth can't finish on 205.
58.
Oh, we're going to have another silly leg here, Chiz. Or is it going to get done? Ah, we're going for the silly leg option, are we, David?
Louis, you require 147.
Louis Williams fancies joining in with the silliness at the first dart, way into the single 5.
115.
There's an argument for Chiz to go 2-2-2 here, because that first dart in the single 2 can be used as a marker. What's the plan, David? How are you going to science your way out of this? Ah, good theory put into practice. Straight at it, straight in, 5-2.
He's got time to progress. Silky smooth action, but ultimately, Dave Chisnall's unsilky, unsmooth action looks like it's going to be too strong.
Certainly does. Because that's another maximum. It's 4 for Dave Chisnall. They've all come in the last 4 legs, and you're chucking a 177 in there as well. Difficult to live with this. I mean, before the arrival of Josh Rock, who's obviously stolen an awful lot of headlines 55. And created an awful lot of chat, there was a little cadre of teenage players in Louis Williams, Adam Gavlas, Keane Barry, who really did look like the hottest properties in the sport in terms of the young players. Now, obviously, Josh Rock has stolen a lot of that limelight, but it doesn't detract from the fact that you've still got 3 very young players who are all out their teens now, who've got an awful lot of potential. And Louis Williams has shown, I mean, he's averaging more than 97 this weekend. It was good
60.
Against Dennis Nielsen. He's not been bad here.
56.
But one of the things you've got to do when you start out as a darts player is feel the full force of Chizzy. That's what happens. He's done it to everybody, and he's doing it today. And that wraps it up. It is an 11-darter. He'd been threatening them all the way through the game. He finally nails it and completes a 6-2 win.
On 5 points, but definitely within striking range of a top 4 spot going into next week.
Well, I made a confident prediction at the start of the afternoon saying that we're not going to see a poorer leg than the 22 darter from Ryan Searle. I'm going to make another confident prediction. Every one of those 8 players will end up winning a night at the Premier League. It's completely up for grabs. I mean, I wouldn't even rule out Peter Wright yet, even though he's lost 4 from 4 and he's cast a little bit adrift at the bottom of the table. You know, a final and a semi-final, it's an okay start. 2 out of 4 nights where you've won a game. I think he'll be expecting a little bit better than that going forward, but the reason why they're in the Premier League, they all expect the best of themselves. And this could be the best leg of the game.
Could be 11 darts. And is. Don't underestimate just how good Richie Edhouse can be. But now with the amount of stage exposure and the enhancement of equipment over the last 20 years, we are starting to see more players throughout all of the tours, Challenge Tour, PDC Tour, Development Tour, where they are shooting for 50+%. And when you think about what Dimitri's doing right now, averaging 97.5, 50% on the doubles, that's a tournament-winning formula if you do the right things at the right time.
He's a Ryan Searle fan, definitely.
I think 100%.
And a Rammstein fan or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. You will get a bit of Rammstein later with Martin Schindler against Lucas Wenig, by the way. The last game of the evening session, an all-German affair. That's going to be good. Could be as good as this, because double 11 would be for 5-3. And now Edhouse does get another shot at the big fish. Hang on, that's perfect. Oh, he went for the marker, and it just missed on the left.
Well, it's not a good position to be in when you've essentially got to take out 2 170s in a row. And Dimitri Vandenbergh takes out 22 with consummate ease to go 1 leg away. Welcome to Frozen Planet with Paul Nicholson.
There's a bit of Baltic herring in there, but everybody knows that you like herring in this part of the world. She likes a bit of shark right there. Must be a Cullen Lloyd fan.
KIEL twinned with Grimsby or something like that.
Oh, look, it's another big fish. As if by magic, he might reel it in.
Reel it in. Not quite.
145.
Clearly a lot of fishing goes on in this part of the world.
Well, Edhouse was in such a good position, wasn't he, at 3-2 up? But since then, 14, 16 and 13 darts, and it might just be back-to-back 13s to win it, Dan.
Vandenbergh's class has begun to show. The longer this game has gone on, over to double four, and he pins it first time of asking. Dimitri Vandenbergh, a 6-3 winner.
Pointing east.
Yeah.
That is it's a bit flaily. But whatever works, right, Aaron? Whatever works.
Potentially 11 darter coming in for Aaron Monk.
97.
I think we're looking at two players who are very comfortable playing each other. That's why this is so good. Double 12. Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't want to bust it. He doesn't want to go back to 81.
Who are you phoning? How's that going to help?
What do you want to do, Aaron? Single two, maybe? A somewhat cagey effort at the basement double. It could have been a lot worse. At least he's looking a bit more relaxed than yesterday. Looked like he was in a pressure cooker when he was playing yesterday. All's well that ends well. 2-2.
At the same time, he doesn't throw it in a classical sense. He's not even lining it up underneath either eye. It's over to the right-hand side. He's sort of throwing from the shoulder, if you like.
Yeah, there's a lot of muscle memory in that throw. And it's never been any different. He's taken out shots like this on Saturday afternoons in the European Tour in the last 6 or 7 years. He might do it again. Over to you, Joe. He's done it again! That's a wonderful crescendo to leg 6. Monk tries to make eye contact, and he still tries to engage the rock star, but he's having none of it.
Joe Cullen's had enough brilliant moments. 4 perfect darts to start the leg for Aaron Monk.
He's got himself in a more calm demeanour over the last couple of legs since that 164, funnily enough. It might have just woken up the best side of him. He's not missing much. 117 leaves 64. Let's find out whether he goes back to tops or not, because that's the double that's probably cost him the most over the last couple of days.
140.
I think he'll go back to it because he's a stubborn mule.
He will. And finally hits it first time. That is the 11 darter he was threatening. It's been a really encouraging start to the year for Joe Cullen in terms of the standard of play. He's now got to win some games, and to be fair, this game here, where he has hit half a dozen 180s now, he can walk away from this game. He might be averaging 96, 97 and win it 6-4. It has been hard work, this. Aaron Monk has made him work incredibly hard.
Sometimes, though, Dan, you'd rather come through a game like this than winning 6-1 with a big average. You want to be tested. You want to come through that test with 6 maximums, and especially when your opponent's putting you under pressure in a 10th leg and you've got the chance to finish it.
Got the chance to finish it here. And finish it he does. He skids that one into the double 16. And look at that, Aaron Monk knows he has made the former Masters champion work so incredibly hard for the victory.
Yeah, there's one thing that you can guarantee from Damon Heta, and that is a good level of performance, whether he wins or loses. It's very rare that you see him average in the 80s. He's a consistent 90s player, and he excels on the floor. That's when the only people for company are the opposing player and the referee. He's got to learn to do it more on the big stage. That Gibraltar win last year may do him the world of good, because the World Cup is obviously a pairs event. Winning individually is the aim for him. 110 is the immediate aim. This will be a fine way start the contest.
For the first
110 is
Damon
pinned. Only an 18 darter.
Damon in that bracket of players who you're expecting is going to be in the mix for titles this year, and who knows how many. But he's not in the Premier League. He will almost certainly feature in the World Series in New Zealand, Australia. Just the 2 events there this year. It's not the double header in Australia and the New Zealand event. It's just the 2. But he can really focus on the Pro Tour, and he's a guy, I don't think he's missed an event in months and months and months. So he's going to be playing a lot of darts. He's the number 3 seed for this, so he's going to be sat in the seedings all the way through the year, you would expect. It's going to take something weird to dislodge him. 11 darter coming in. 12 will do. But if he's not 12, he could lose the leg.
127.
127 is a tricky one, but out of nowhere, Brooks could be back in this. Level 17 leaves the ball.
102.
A grimace on Bradley Brooks' face says it all, because Heta can establish a 3-leg lead once again. Just no messing about.
It's a sort of moment where games can turn, because Heta is finding his mark more regularly. 3 180s all in the last 4 legs. His average has crept up to close to a ton, and he's not even looked that impressive in this game yet.
You know, the one thing that's really impressive about Heta, he can adjust his pace during the game. The way that he threw that 180 just then, clearly quicker than how he normally throws the darts. He can throw depending on how he feels or what he feels the situation needs.
I think it's all totally natural for him. If he's feeling better, he's finding his range, he will naturally throw quicker. Certain players do, but he even talked last year about trying to get them going quicker. He feels that putting himself under less pressure can help him.
Bradley required 45.
He's left a bogey number there. Bradley Brooks with 2 180s in the leg, looking for a 12 darter. That's the best leg of the match from Bradley Brooks. He's not backing down. Good stuff for the young man.
Maybe it'll be happy families all around, and both of them will get cheered.
They might just boo and whistle a pair of them. But that is 4 legs on the spin that Damon Heta has hit a 180. The average has climbed to 102. This is right up there with the best we've seen this weekend in KIEL. And he's done it after a couple of 6-visit legs to start the match. He has found a level of comfort in this game. And while he won't take the 1-2-1, and Bradley will get a look at the 1-3-2, Heta is going to leave himself with match darts if this doesn't go.
Well, he'll be looking for another. Treble 14. What a checkout that could have been.
92.
Well, the first start, the ball obscured the rest of the target. That's why he switched. And he's not going to get another chance at tops, because Damon Heta secures a 6-2 victory.
A little bit of Peter Wright later on tonight. Snakebite, the number 5 seed, will take on James Wade. Yes, that's a second-round match.
Following on from the first-round match of Wade versus Barneveld. That just goes to show how strong the fields are in these European Tour events.
85.
Danny has options here. Some people like to use the bull here, but he's a bit more of a traditional cat. That's a lovely single, you know. Double top. That is so measured, because with his darts kinking left, oh, this is tricky. He's got to stay straight on dart 2. Well, he doesn't, but he had to stay there, because if he got a single 19, he couldn't leave a finish. Single 20, he still could.
Always listen to what Paul Nicholson has to say. That's my advice. Tops now for Keegan Brown.
54.
Well, he's miles in front in this leg. And I'm still not ruling out another break of throw. It's been a crazy game, really.
Yeah, it's a weird one, this, because Danny's been amazing on the outer ring. 75%. That's his first maximum. But his first 9 average is 9 less than his overall average. We'll have a look at that at the start of the next leg, because it's just about to start.
Something about the Dutch and hardcore techno.
140.
Really wanted that 180 because 128 is one of the trickiest finishes in that zone. What can Danny do with visit 4 this time? It's okay.
Kicking you 128.
This could be a game changer. It could be a 2-leg cushion if he finds another one of them, or he's going to go 14s. That's why it's tricky, because when you get the treble, you need another one after that.
A little bit surprised that he didn't follow that first treble 18 in. We'll get another chance.
49, Keegan, you require 32.
It's still a bit weird, statistically, this game. But Keegan has a chance, and he takes it for 5-3.
Not being hit as regularly this time.
So there's an idea, Dan. Sound effects for when 180s are hit.
170.
We've already got a nickname for things like that. If you get a treble 20, a treble 19, and a treble 18, it's called a white horse.
59.
But we don't have a nickname for a 177. Maybe we should give it one.
Something like a thoroughbred horse.
Answers on a postcard.
83.
Yeah.
You'll have better suggestions.
You're sacked, Dan.
Me.
You're sacked.
Yep. Take my headphones off.
Well, one thing's for sure. Keegan Brown's not sacked. He's on the verge of an upset, you would say.
125.
This is to get to Sunday. There's the 4. Doesn't get 60 more.
40.
Keegan Brown didn't like that, but Danny Noppert, long way behind in this leg. And we go back to the scoring phase of the game.
59.
Still only on 84
64.
for the first 9.
Double 8 to win it. Pushes the wire, then wins it. A great performance from Keegan. He was better on the front 9. The career to say it, that was probably the worst win of my career. I imagine having the likelihood of saying that.
96.
But maybe Dirk is at the point now where he knows how to win titles different ways. He doesn't have to be his A+ best all the time.
He's just so good that he doesn't
60.
need to be at his best to win.
And
if he's not at his best, there's a very good chance he's going to get beaten. But he is one of the best players in the world. There's no doubt about it.
114.
He can do stuff that other players will never do. And he's been doing it pretty regularly for quite some time.
This has been missing for Veenstra over the last couple of legs. He's now having to rely on Dirk making errors. Double 10 isn't found, but 5s are. And he takes the lead for the first time.
Yeah, Aspinall's actually a player who's started to slim down his darts. He's in the process, slimmed a bit. He's looking at slimming them a bit more. I don't know if he's using new ones this weekend compared to last weekend, but he is in the process of doing it. Still going to be the same shape, but not as much.
Are you trying to tell me that Nathan Aspinall's darts are going on a diet?
Basically, yes. Because, and look, he's playing well, he's throwing well, he's scoring heavy, but he thinks he can score even more heavily by
60.
Getting them closer together.
Now I've heard it all. Darts on a diet.
Veenstra just being given a leg here to get himself back into the game. He's lost 4 on the spin, but Dirk's scoring has deserted him a bit.
Yeah, it's an interesting game so far. 6 and a bit legs in, and Dirk's only got 1 maximum. That is well below his hit rate. Good find and a very good leg from Veenstra there. 14 darts. It's been a difficult day for the tour card holder qualifiers. None of them have come through apart from Keegan Brown. He was the first in the previous match. It looks like Veenstra will go the same way as Brooks, Monk, Edhouse,
58.
and Mario Vandenbogaerde.
Still on tops.
62.
Wasn't the route he wanted, but he got a dart at tops in the end. Van Duijvenbode. Is he going safe? No, he's going aggressive. Oh, double for Dirk van Duijvenbode. Well, a little moment of class to seal it, but Dirk van Duijvenbode way off his usual levels. It does not matter.